Hi everybody, good morning. There's another forensic room, 3 in the row now, but this one is more a Linux system. It's follow the same story but Liam. So continue hunting for exfiltration footprint in the ex-employee personal workstation. Before continue dive into scenario, it's important to know that this channel is a continuation for this exfiltration room. If you did one before, I think that one was Windows machine, where Liam Company provide machine was being investigated in data exfiltration case. While it is recommended to go through that room first to get better understanding of the story context, it's not. Now you don't need to do it to do this one, but just for a story context. The scenario, of course, it tell you we have a Liam Company provide Windows workstation disk federation room reveal major evidence of his involvement of THM data exfiltration. However, we could argue that he was framed as he did not own the workstation. So, to uncover the whole truth and gather all the possible and deniable evidence, the investigators turn their attention to the person workstation, which is a Linux machine, which already we gave us. This was Liam workstation. He had full control over covering his tracks more effectively, but was be careful enough. So now they give us the machine. They said it's mounted in MNT, what they call it, MNT Liam machine, and we have you can see the Linux folders. They tell us to use, usually that's normal. When you do grep and with binaries, you add them -a. They give autopsy. I didn't find it useful for this room, to be honest. Use autopsy in Linux, it seems, doesn't give you too much information. I didn't use it, so let's start. The first thing they tell us, when did Liam sometimes it's better to have a full overview of the question when you do this so you know what you're looking for. They ask when it was logged, then we're talking about time zone. This interesting question, why they ask us for the time zone, we see now why. Then we know the USB, so DM uses USB, so we have serial when it was connected. Then we talk us about some alias command transfer, and then we go back to the story of Henry, how much money, and then the Cronjob. Some questions are fast to answer than others. Let's start the first one. When did Liam? Of course, they give us these rooms. They said should better to check them. For example, Linux forensic, for example, system configuration, past system evidence and execution. We have another one, Linux incident risk surface, Linux logs, for example, syslog, the most important, one of the most important. Log investigation, they almost overlap these rooms, and then we have this. We didn't get too much analysis in this room. It's more about which part. It's more doing it with. This is more recovery. We're not doing recovery. That's what is medium. It's medium. We're more in timestamp stamping later on in one of the question. So now if I'm looking for example, I can usually we can go to first of all that mnt folder.liam. um, so we have that liam folder here, so we have the normal Linux folders. So for example, we have a var log. Just be careful, don't do /var because now you do the machine. So we no slash, we go straight to var log, for example, and then we have the logs in Liam machine. Now we're more interested in the syslogs because hardware or the kernel. So what we can do, we can go to carvar, can go log. Which system log that has sorry, I'm also confused. we do can, but the question is, but when the first time he login, so authentication. So we can go to auth log. We only have one, so we have with this no rotating here. We can grab, for example, minus I a Liam, for example. The name is Liam. Let's see if we have Liam here. Oh, we have too much of them because we can just filter more. We can just because grep minus I a session, for example, because if you have a new session, you will have a keyword session. Now, remember also the question. If you look at the hint, it said focus on graphical. So it's not looking for SSH or something like a normal when you log into your desktop computer through a username password. So for that in Linux, if you look, this is a very interesting keyword. You look for them, like if it's a GNU and this one you think is Debian base. So you're looking for GDM graphical, I think graphical desktop management or something, GDM things. If you go to the log, look for GDM, DMPC. We don't want to go to SSH. Where's the GDM things? We can just grab it. GDM, this, yeah, this is the graphical. So if you go to the graphical, so this is the, you said one last, so we're going for last one. So the last one should be the first, because we're doing from the bottom up. This is the first GDM we got. So the time would be this one, to be 2025, 28 Feb at 10:59:07. That's one was logged in. Okay, we can just be because we know if it was there, we'll have GDM, GNOME Desktop Management. I think that's the abbreviation, and then we can just have straight. We'll get the straight login, unlocking login keyring. So it was. Yeah, this is where it started GDM. It started enable to locate diamond. This is the last when he was logging. Stash password related to open session. So we have and this one it's 10:58. It said when it was logging. So this is the part when exactly he logged in. Session open for user. Yeah, the session open here, and it's a GDM. So leave this one. We can also do another option. Is hold on a minute. I need to close the curtain. Is a bit. The sun is switching my computer. I can't see. 1 second, guys. The next what we can use also the classic the classic I'm gonna hack the box. So remember this one. We can use the authentication. The log W, I think what they call it, W, no, just let's go to MNT CD MNT Liam, and we can do the TM dump, the var log W, and okay, we can just grab minus IA. We can go to our friend Liam, and here we can see it's when you see SID0, this is the graphical, and you can see PTS is mean SSH. I think this one also graphical if I'm mistaken, but it's most this. If you look the time in here, you can see it's you said the last one. This is 8th, so it must be one of these two, and it's 15:59:07. Now you can say what the time is different. This one it said. Where's the one that we've been busy with now? If you look to this one, it's a 10:59:07, and you can see this one. It's say to you 15:59:07. So why the time is different? We run it from our computer, so it means the time is UTC in this machine. So now we need to get to understand the time difference. Why it's 15? It's because if you go to etc time zone, you say it's America Toronto, so it's not the time. For us to do the time, we need to, for example, to a TZ. For example, I can just say TZ equal America Toronto. Toronto, I think it's 7 hours difference if I'm not mistaken. We can just say date minus D. Sorry, you can get this time here that you want to convert that look funny for us. Why is not the same time? Let's move the T, and then we can change our time zone so we can get the correct answer for the time zone. So we have here for capital, then we have small minute or month, and then we have the date, and then we have what do you call them, the hours, and then we have the minute, and then we have the second, and then we get the time zone that we're looking for. I hope it's a correct command, this one. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, it's wrong. These are supposed to be what? Extra operator minus D. Extra operator. Why is this extra operator? I forgot the damn command now. I'm really surprised why it's not working now. Friday, February. Why it said is an extra operator? Oh guys, sorry, I don't know. The idea is to have the conversion, so why is not converting now? Did we do any something? The date, the month, the hours, the minute, the seconds. I don't know. I'll figure out another time. I think I messed up something. The idea is because if we do the whole point of this is because this one show you the full time, so let's put it there. So this one will give you the time of the GDM, so we know it's 10:59:07. Uh, if you go with this command UTM dump, be careful of the time zone because it works in your computer. So it's the same time, you can see it's the same date, it's 59:07, but this 15 is not. It's 15 minus so to come back to this 10 o'clock, so it's 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5 hours different, I think. So if you do the conversion, then the command, I don't know what's wrong with this command. It's supposed to convert to time zone, but for whatever reason it doesn't want to convert date minus d, the current time that we have. Yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to be current document, but he said the plus is not you tell me you're supposed to have break. No. Any case, it's just a different way. The other way, what else we can do? There's another command if we want to. Is the last command. Last also commit minus f minus f. Same the log. Sorry, the var log folder. Same it use log 2 is also the same the time the one for the time for Linux, so we can go grep liam. And we can get same thing. So we have we want to rest in night login screen, the seed 0 seed 0. And we more looking for the last one. This is 8 8, so it's this one. You can see it's 15. 15 is the time zone. You just fix the time zone as he said, because we know the time zone is it's not UCT. So for not having problem with this, you can just straight use the grep command from the authentication log that give you straight the answer. So that's the answer for this question. Now the next one is that what was time zone for Liam. Liam time zone is straightforward. So Linux time zones MNT Liam it's cat etc time zone. That's how you get the time zone in Linux. So that one is straightforward. The next one is that what is the serial number of the USB that was inserted by Liam. Remember, when we do this also we must remember the time zone, the timing. So all our investigation now start from this time. So we know it's 10:59:07 28 Feb. So for example, now if I want to we can use, for example, you can follow these rooms, the journal and this one. Yeah, I guess most of the answers we can get to journal city. Be careful also, journal city will use the time zone of us. So directory, we give it the var uh, log. Why is don't var log journal. So and then we grab a USB, grab equal USB. I know you have too many lines, so you can just follow it and just then read it later on. So this is now we're looking for a USB that Liam, because Liam we know it's the 28th, so you can just go for search for the 28th February. The timing also here, it's not the one that you think about, because the journal will use UCT, so we're looking for the time that we find here, so the same time we'll find here the 15. So if we look, for example, here we find we can see there's a serial number happening here in the USB 2, and you can see the 15. Let's not confuse you guys with the time zones. Let's use the one that will not have problem with the time zone. If you're getting confused, we can just go to MNT lium, and we can use the grep command. Now if you use this one, we'll not have issue with time, because log syslog, so it's only one syslog. We can do that, and we can just grab minus iUSB. What's going on? Hello? Why are you not grabbing for me? Log syslog. That's interesting. The time, we still have time. What's wrong with you? ls var log log sys. Is it open or something? Head var log syslog. So we have the syslog. Why is not open to grep? Grep means oh no, that's why I'm gripping USB. That's why he's not getting us information. Okay, now we grab USB. We know, so we're looking for more the time for the 28, and we know it's 10. The user was logging at 10:59:07. So whatever happened after 10:50, so basically after 10:59, so it must be somehow after this. So 10:59. So we know it's 10:59:07. So 10:50. What I'm doing now? See, this is all the USB that grep found, but most interesting for us is the 10:59 after the time was when the user was logging. So basically this one. So you can see 10:58, 59, and then we can see the a new USB device and product disk 2.0 manufacturer USB serial number and that. So we got a USB, and it was after Liam logged in, so you can see it here. You see it in 10:59, but if you look to the kernel, because when you use journal's time zone is not ours, so it come back to 15. So different commands, so just be careful of the time zone. Now the next question, because we got this. Now when was the USB connected to the system? Now this one we can just, if you don't get too confused, you just look here, because when it was connected to the system, as I said, we're looking after the 28:59. So this one's still not logged, so it means it's after this line. So new high-speed USB device. So the connection was in 2025. This is when it was connected, 2025-02-28. So this is when the USB was connected. 10 59 25. That's the answer for that question. Oh, if you play with the time Toronto time zone, it will be this one. This is the kernel serial number. So yeah, so you use the grep for syslog to give you straight the time zone that you're looking for. Now the next one is what command was executed when Liam ran transfer files? And the hint said Liam was smart. He used nickname for his long command. Where could he place this command? When we do this in Linux, we're talking about aliases. No, because we talk about aliases. So now if let's go there, let's open something else. Now because we are on disk, let's go to Liam home. ls minus la, so we can see straight there is where is that file? I saw it before, so now I can't see it. There was a hidden folder here. What did I do? Oh, I didn't go to Liam. cd home Liam ls minus la. Yeah, he has ssh, then he has a hidden folder ls minus la.hidden. There's empty folder. We have document, we have music, we have the mth file. This interesting file. You can straight now part of the answer for the question, but we do that later. When you are the first thing, you just cross bash history. You know, when you do a Linux forensic, and then very interesting. And then there is the command. So update, upgrade, ls usb, checking for the usb, and then run this function. This is not a Linux command, so it means that's what he said in the hint. The hint said, and this is aliases. Aliases in general, different place you can put them. If you want to put them in Linux general system, you put them in etc, for example, profile. But this one is more for white. No, Liam. For example, Vim. Let's go out of Vim, etc profile. This one, if you go full system, but usually William will do it in his profile personally, so we don't have here. So the next best thing is the bash rc. That's where usually sometimes you put your aliases, and we can see the command transfiles. It's copy, his copy from media Liam. This one, critical data TryHackMe to home Liam document data. So we can see what is stealing. So now we know what this command do. So this is the answer for this. That's the command for that question. Now the next one said, what command did Liam execute to transfer files to an external server? Now we find the command for transfer, but we can go to bash history. If you go to back history, we can see he ran this and then he ran the curl. So okay, let's do ls media. There's no media for now because that's USB. Now we have the curl. This is the command. So it's make curl post a request to the data to this domain upload. So this is the question for this one. So we solve that question. Let's be interested to see what's inside that document. Data. Then we have this is the TryHackMe, and this is the file, the XLS folder document. Tax record, revenue history, financial data, and stakeholder aggregate. So this is the file that is told. So our next question is, we did this. What IP address was the domain to which Liam transferred file to? Now here, because it's a simulation, the question is because what is the IP address? This is not a real domain, so it's not like we go Google for it. But you can, because let's see, because if it's configured in the system, you can ping it. So if I ping, no, we can't ping it from our machine. I don't think we can. Yeah, no. So it because we're inside William, the first thing you can go is just go to the host file. So let's go out of William, etc hosts, and then we can see for this room it's just IP for that. So tech sit me, that's the IP for it. So we got the IP for transferred file 2. Then which directory was the user is when they created the file mth. No, the mth file is basically is that, but the question is where. So if you do cut back to bash history, if you go to bash history now, we see that the update is that lsb transfer set history did the cal command. Let me put this one at this one. You do sudo ps, so you do ps for the processes, and then see that you don't do c document like that. There's no forward slash. Where he was, because he do forward slash, then ls sudo who am I, then sudo ls minus the hidden folder is basically is in this directory, and then he do sudo nano mth, and we can see the mth is here. So the fact he did this, he should be in this folder in home liam. I don't think this one works because you don't do forward slash when you because if I want to go to document, I go straight to what's wrong with you, document like that. You don't do forward slash in the, so he didn't jump to document, he stayed in the home liam. So sorry. So which directory was the user in when they created the file myth? It's so it was forward slash home liam. So that's the directory. The next question is, remember Henry, the external entity helping Liam during the exfiltration. And they said, no, what was the amount in US dollar that Henry had to give Liam for exfiltration task? Of course, this one answer is straightforward because when you check the MT5, it tell you, hi Henry, I hope you are doing well. As the work is now done, could you please transfer me the promise $10,000? Thanks, Henry. So basically, we know the money is that. So for the exfiltration task, I think that's the answer. Then when was the yes? But the question, why is it from Liam? Henry, thanks Henry. Hi Henry, thanks Henry. This is wrong. Supposed to be this one's supposed to be Liam. And then when was the USB disconnected by Liam? Disconnect. So basically, we can just go to our old files. Remember, we did, and this is the login. We do. This is the journal. The time zone is not. We can just look it here in. Remember, we're using the command grep USB from var log system log. We know it was connected in 1059 the 25, so you can just follow here and look for the keyword disconnect, and you can see USB disconnect device number 2. Remember, it's device number 2, device number 2. So it was connected in 59 and disconnected in this 11:44:00. That's a disconnection. You can see it in the journal too. In the journal, you can see it disconnected, but the time zone is our PC, so you need to go back to Toronto to convert it to become 11:44:00. So this is disconnection of USB. So this question, you can get it straight from the first question already. So we know the disconnection, and then what is the dot hidden folder that Liam listed that the content of his the commands and list content of in his command. What the full path of directory? I'm not sure why they said command, but let's do something quickly now. We already found one of the hidden files, so we find one ls-la in home liam. These are the hidden folder, but that hidden folder is empty, so we can see there's nothing there. So we can just do find in this mnt liam dash type directory dash name dot hidden, and if any error dash throw it to null. And interesting with this another one, so we can go to home liam public, and now we have the another file, and we find these files ls-la. So basically now they are empty, they just give us for simulation. So the directory is home liam public. So the file that looking for this question, there is a dot hidden folder in liam. So what is the full path of this directory? The path is home liam public. So we got that question correctly, and then said which file are likely timestamped in the hidden directory. This one is part of ext analysis. If you go to analysis file system, the timestamps, talk about it. For example, they give you the example and the stat, and you can do this room if you want. Now if I do, as I said, ls minus la, the first thing you jump on you is, first of all, they all 28. There is no year, it means it's for the current year, which is 2025. This is fine, fine, fine. But these two, strangely enough, 57 and 53, they said 2017, 2001. Now if we can go deeper, stat file 3, and here what they say, the core, the real truth about them, the birth and change is in 25, and that one. So we can go to the next one is for example the legitimate one, like for example if I go to one that is not tempered with, for example let's say try number 9. If you go to number 9, you can see the time is all no problem with them. But this one you can see it's paradoxal, so it means being changed. So number 7 also, number 7 you can see it's also 2021, but the reality is this. So these two files that tempered with is file 7.txt and file 3. So these two files being tampered with. Now the next question is, Liam thought the work was done, but external entity, which means Henry, had other plans. Which IP address was connected via SSH to Liam machine a few hours after the exfiltration? Remember, we working in that timestamp, the exfiltration and all of that all happen after the login. So you always remember this time when you analyze the 28th 10:58:24 when you do the analysis. Now we can go back now to our log files because now we're looking for SSH, so we can just go to the classic grep -a SSHD. Usually when you have a log in var log, what the authentication log will give us the information. Usually we don't. If you have too many logs, you just do star like that, but we only have one log here in this machine. So let's see what we have. No, to break the whole things. So if you look here, the timing is also, we have what's the timing? 28. We have 14:15 at 2 o'clock. This one at 10 o'clock. So yeah, so we have which SSH open for you is a Liam, and then we have received disconnect from disconnect, receive disconnect, accept password for Liam. So you can see this is the IP there. You can also do grep SSH, because SSH usually when it you can just because remember it say accepted. Yeah, you can just search for accepted in var, because that's where the SSH was confirmed. You can just do that, and we get state accept password for Liam from 94, because if there's too many users you just need grep minus I Liam, so you can have a straightforward answer. So accepted password from Liam, this is the IP address that connected from. Then which cron job did the external entity set up inside Liam machine? The cron job, you can just say sorry, you can go to etc, for example, start with that one. There's no cron tab. The next one is ls var spool sorry, cron tab. Permission deny, we are root in this machine, so ls var sorry, cron, no, not rs, cron tab. What we have here? We have Liam, so we can just cut that Liam and see, and then we see what he's doing. It is getting the history file and send it to this IP log sphp to log the data. So the tail take the last tail, the last 5, and the bash history, and send it to that. So basically, yeah, that's basically this room. Yeah, what else we forgot? I think we did all of them. So the only thing, I also, a reason why I want to show, I did show you this and also show you the journal, because it took me about an extra 20 minutes or some figuring out, because when I start I was using the journal, and then when I put the answer, for example, for for example disconnect, for example, I put this, it say answer is not correct, because I forgot the journal is running from this machine, so the time zone is not the same. So if you don't have problem, just use the search for the log, the system logs. We did the system logs now. Uh, yeah, the system logs, they will give you the exact time, so you don't worry about the time zones. Yeah, it was a nice medium room. Hope guys you like it, and yeah, thank you very much and have a good day.